Let's have a look at the area of 2D shapes. The first thing is to have a look at all the formulas. Let's do a quick review of that. The area of a rectangle, A equals B times H, where A is the area, B is the base, and H is the height. A parallelogram has exactly the same formula, A equals B times H, as well as the rhombus, A equals B times H. We'll have a look at the way that we measure the height of these two shapes. That's very important. The area of a square, A equals S squared, and in this case S is the side. Remember, a square has equal sides all around. A triangle, A equals half of the base times or multiplied by the height, where A is the area, B is the base of the triangle, and H is the height of the triangle. The area of a trapezium, a little bit different. We've got half of A plus B multiplied by H, and in this case the capital A is the area, and B, small b, is the base, H is the height, but the small letter A there is the line that's parallel to B, or that's parallel to the base. When we do our example, it'll make a little bit more sense. The first one is how to calculate the area of a rectangle. Here we've got a rectangle, we've got 2 centimeters by 5 centimeters. We know that the formula is B times H, where B is the base, H is the height. So H is going to be 5 centimeters, B is 2 centimeters, and then we start by writing down our formula, A equals B times H, and we swap out the letters for numbers. B we said was 2, H we said was 5, and if we multiply those two we get 10 square centimeters. Please remember to write in square centimeters. Let's move on to a square. We said the formula for a square is A equals S squared, where A is the area and S is the side. In this square, our side is 5 centimeters. Remember, a square's got equal sides. We start by writing our formula, A equals S squared, and then we just swap out the letter for numbers. So it's 5 times 5. Remember, that's little 2 at the top. The square means that it's the number times itself. That's why we've got 5 times 5. When we multiply those two, it's 25 square centimeters. Now for the parallelogram. The formula is exactly the same. There's just one or two things that we have to remember. Let's have a look at the properties of this parallelogram. B is the base. In this example, it's 2 centimeters. So we've got our base. But when we calculate the height, it is very important to remember to use the perpendicular height, the height that goes 90 degrees up. So it's going to be this value over here, which is 5 centimeters. Now we can go ahead and write our formula, and then we swap out the numbers, or the letters for numbers. We said B was 2, H, the height, is 5, multiply 2 by 5, 10 square centimeters. This is very important to remember, to take the height, not the length of that side over there. The rhombus works exactly the same, and it's got the same trick. B is, in this example, 5 centimeters, and we have to do exactly the same with the height. The height is going to be straight up. In this example, it's 6 centimeters, so let's write down our formula. A equals B times H, and then we can swap out. B is 5, H is 6. 5 times 6 is 30 square centimeters. There we go. Next one is the area of a triangle. Our formula is half of B times H. Remember, B is our base, H is going to be the height. The same as with the rhombus in the parallelogram, it's going to be the straight up height. So let's have a look. B is 4 centimeters, and then we have to measure the height of the triangle. The height is going to be this line over here. In this example, the height is 6 centimeters. And now we can start with our formula. A equals half times the base times the height. And let's swap out the letters for the numbers. 1/2 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 6. I'm going to start from the left and work towards the right. A half of 4 is 2 times 6, and 2 multiplied by 6 is 12 square centimeters. There we go. Now for the trapezium. This one is the most complicated of these shapes that we're doing. We said that the formula is A equals a half of, and then A plus B times H. And remember, the A plus B is in brackets, so we're going to have to do that adding before. On our trapezium, B is the base as usual, and A, remember, is the line that's parallel to B. So A is always the line that's parallel to B at the top. And then the height for H. Again, it's important to remember that we need the real height, not the length of that side, but the height of the trapezium. In this example, the height is 6 centimeters. So now we can write down our formula. A equals a half times A plus B multiplied by H. Let's swap out all the letters for numbers, and then we can start our calculations. So it's 2 for A, 4 for B, 6 for H. I'm going to do my brackets first. We always have to do whatever's inside the brackets first. 2 plus 4 is 6. And now we can multiply. A half of 6 is 3 times 6. Our final answer, 18 square centimeters. Please remember to put in the square centimeters. In this example, we've combined a couple of shapes into a polygon. We have to calculate the area of the whole polygon. Let's have a look at our measurements. From this tip of the arrow to that tip is 5 centimeters. Downwards from this tip over here to that tip is 11 centimeters. From the left to the right, the whole arrow is 7 centimeters long, and the back side of the arrow is 3 centimeters wide. So let's have a look if we can figure out how to work out the area of this arrow. The first thing we can do is, or what we should do, is have a look for shapes. And if we draw a little line there, somewhere a dotted line, we've divided this polygon into two shapes that we know. The first one is a triangle. We know how to work out the area of a triangle. And the next one is a rectangle. Again, we know how to work out the area of a rectangle and a triangle, so this is going to be easy. The area of this polygon will be the area of the triangle plus the area of the rectangle. So we're going to work out that, and then this, add them together. So let's do the area of the triangle first. My formula is A equals a half of B times H. Then I'm going to swap out the letters for numbers. So it's a half times 11 times 5. Remember, the base is this area over there. That's why it's 11 centimeters. And the height of my triangle would be that area over there. So that's 5 centimeters. 11 times 5 is 55, and now we can times that by a half, or a half of 55 is 27 and 1/2 square centimeters. Let's do the rectangle. Our formula for a rectangle is the base times the height. In this case, to work out the base that it's standing on, we can't use this whole length of the arrow. Remember, that part is part of the triangle. So we know the whole arrow is 17 centimeters long. We know the arrow head is 5 centimeters. So we have to do the takeaway. Whatever's left over after we've taken away the 5 centimeters will be the base of my rectangle, and that's what we did over here. We said 17, which is the whole arrow, and minus the 5 centimeters for the head of the arrow will give us the base, and we're going to times that or multiply that by 3. Let's do our brackets first. 17 take away 5 is 12. 12 multiplied by 3 is 36 square centimeters. So we've got the area of the triangle, we've got the area of the rectangle. Now we just need to add them together. So the area of the polygon, remember we said, is the area of the triangle plus the area of the rectangle. Here we've got the area of the triangle, 27.5 square centimeters. Added to that, or we have to add to that 36 square centimeters for the area of the rectangle. And if we add them together, we get 63.5 square centimeters. It's as easy as that. Remember, whenever you do a polygon, divide it up into shapes that you know you can calculate the area for. That's the easiest way to do the area of a polygon.